Welcome to the Pirates of Drinax. We will be picking up where we left off last week. Uh, we did play last week. Yes?
No.
No, we did not play. Yes. Okay. So, yeah, it's
Oh, you
been.
did.
Did we? Yeah.
I almost
Yeah, I thought we did. Yeah.
read
Get,
you
Yeah,
not.
you
yeah.
posted a
Yeah, we did.
video.
Yes, we did.
I even said I'm glad you motherfuckers played anyway.
Yes, it has
I
been.
made the comment.
It has been a complicated time. Everybody's been getting sick with the flu, and so we've got games up and down due to people not being able to make it. On our Friday and Saturday games, Brian has been in Thailand, and it's all been confusing. I'm starting to get confused on what day it is. So we are back where we left off last time. These guys were ordered to go over and essentially they were supposed to investigate and or arrest the crew of an Aslan light trader, and because it matched the description of a ship that assaulted a an Imperial registered free trader about 4 years ago. And so they were ordered by Vice Admiral Krond to go over there and investigate and arrest, and if they were given any resistance, to put down the resistance. And so resist the Aslan did, and the ship is now messed up due to multiple grenade explosions and particle beam PGMP fire, and a plasma streamer was brought out, and yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of dead bodies. The hull of the ship has been cored. Really bad situation. These guys went through. These guys decided to loot the strong box of the light trader, walking away with about 4 mega credits of Aslan hard currency. So they'll have to, of course, find somewhere to cash that in for Imperial credits. There's going to be, probably a fee for that, and if they want to keep it on the down low, the fee's going to be pretty high. They'll probably only walk away with one, maybe if they're lucky, 2 mega credits worth. But hey, it's still more money than they had before, and it's free money theoretically. Remember, nothing's ever free. So then they left and they've come back to the ship, and that's where we'll be picking up. Before we get started, we'd like to bring everybody's attention to the fact we do have a merch store via Zazzle. It's the Greenwater Mercantile and Adventure Company merch store. We've got T-shirts and buttons and hoodies. There is the T-shirt design with the Pirates of Drinax atomic logo. The atomic skull that Cameron made for us. That is on a T-shirt and a button. We've got poster maps. There is a beer stein. There are whiskey rocks glasses. All sorts of really cool stuff over there. And 100% of the proceeds from that store goes back into the channel, and it helps us pay off the minor things like Roll20 subscription. It also helps us pay off the subs for Incarnate Pro and the Wondershare Filmora and all of those things that seem to bushwhack us at the end of the month. So if you want to help us out, go on over to our store and pick yourself up a Pirates of Drinax t-shirt, and we appreciate everything you do for us. All right. So you guys get back to the Eurisco. And you, of course, most likely report to the bridge for debriefing. When you get to the bridge, you can see that not Grant, too much Star Wars. Vice Admiral Krond is talking to a holographic display of and on this holographic display is an older Aslan male, and he's dressed in what you would classify as probably they're like robes, but you know that having seen, you haven't seen a whole bunch of Aslan, but this is more of like a stately individual. Like he's an ambassador, not necessarily an ambassador, but he's somebody high up, and he's not dressed for doing combat. And so he is sitting there. He is very pissed off. He is very angry at this entire situation. And Vice Admiral Krond is just kind of got this half smirk on his face, kind of acting smug about the entire situation. And this Aslan is saying, "We are going to notify the ambassador, and this is not going to stand. And you can't just board our ships and kill our citizens." And Vice Admiral Krond is responding that, you know, this craft was a known aggressor. It matched a description of a pirate craft that attacked an Imperium vessel, and we have every right to defend ourselves. And you are more than welcome to go ahead and make your complaint to the ambassador. And basically ends it with, you know, have a good day, and hangs up. And he turns around to you guys and comes over and kind of pats Colonel Zayden on the shoulder. And he says, you did an excellent job, Colonel. You and your Marines did an excellent job. I would like to invite all of you to dine with me this evening.
Well, if I may, I believe that some of my crew is in dire need of some time. I promised them time off, and I just don't feel comfortable ordering them to go to your dinner under this thing. Is it really important?
Well, he says, well, I would like you to join me. We want to. He says, it's been brought to my attention that there are some differing opinions on my command style that are going around the ship, and I've been making it a staple to have dinner with some of the department heads every so often. And it seems that you and your Marines are the only ones that I haven't had a chance to dine with. He says, of course, Captain Lynott will be present, and not to worry. If your Marines are in need of a little downtime, there will be plenty to drink.
Well, if you're trying to get respect, most of Marines, the leadership style. We're fucking Marines. We're a gun. You point us, we shoot. But if you really wanted to earn respect, why, you'd get in the ring there with my buddy Jace and go a little fist to face. You know, a little boxing match. Show you're a real man. Know what I mean?
Like what?
He says, "Oh,
I heard someone say my name.
I'm not going to fall for that." And he just kind of chuckles and he says, "I know how tough you Marines are." He says, "No, please join us tonight, and you know, check in with Captain Lynott. I'm sure that she'll be pleased to know that you'll be at the table."
I guess if you insist, we're gonna go. I guess. I'll look forward to seeing you there, but you know, sure wish that you go fucking, you know, maybe just some wrestling with Jace.
He's not that. Hey, he's an idiot, but he's not that dumb.
Yeah, I feel you. But I'm the type of guy that likes to take my people and just randomly throw them in combat situations. You know, random acts of violence sounds like a very, very Marine thing.
I know. I was just gonna say, sounds like a Marine thing to do. You know.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. I fucking got Darren that one time. I was fucking fixing to just spread the love.
So,
all right. Yeah. I look forward to seeing you tonight. We'll drink your alcohol and piss on your tables. It'll be great.
I probably need some
medical care, by the way. Every
Oh.
time.
Yeah, you can, of course. I mean,
Oh yeah, y'all got hurt while I was on vacation, huh?
that's true.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. So,
I got
the
hurt
dinner,
pretty bad.
the dinner invite's actually for tomorrow night. Assuming that
Okay.
anybody that's not going to be bedridden in the hospital is of course invited. Um, let's see here.
I mean, if what Darren's hurt?
Yes.
Yeah,
He got hurt.
yeah. Darren ate some shit and some things.
Well, I mean, if the doctor could just drug him up with morphine and shit so he could make the dinner, I mean, wouldn't that be okay? Even if he's like missing a left testicle, he'll still have his right one.
Right.
That's why the ancients gave us two.
Yes.
There's going to be drinks. I can mix it with the morphine. It'll be fine.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
alcohol and fucking painkillers are just made for each other.
Right.
Classic
Hell.
combination.
That means
Yeah.
it's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Here.
So this is like a celebratory dinner. We don't necessarily have to dress up or nothing. We can just kind of come
Well, it would be dress
like
uniform.
a business casual.
No,
instead of
it
like,
would be dress uniform.
all
Yeah,
right.
I wouldn't show up to Vice
Yeah.
Admiral Krond's.
I know.
In like business casual, I just wouldn't do it.
I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
Yes, yes, of course. Always when eating at the captain's table, you always wear a Hawaiian shirt. And don't use the utensils. Always use your hands. It's all
Yeah.
finger food. Everything, even the steak.
and you make sure that you offer even if they get from the same dish that you got to make sure and offer your food to other people with your bare hands.
Yes,
You know?
right.
You like take a bite of piece of meat and then go, oh fuck yeah. And they go, you want to bite it? And it's like stick it like an inch from their face. You know?
I'm learning so much about etiquette. Thanks, you guys.
Yes, that
Anytime, man.
that's
Yeah.
suitable for all formal occasions.
We didn't learn about this growing up on Salif. And
So Darren, how hurt are you?
I 11 points.
Woo!
Yeah,
So you're down. You're at 0 endurance, right?
0 endurance and 4 strength out of 7.
Okay.
Damn.
But you didn't take any dexterity damage.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well then.
So is he like in a wheelchair or?
Well, you get 10 back.
send back.
I got 10 back. Awesome. That's great.
Hell yeah. From all the different little medical care and stuff. So he's just got fucking like
Yeah, you're
pale complexion.
Yeah, you're
You got hit
probably.
with this. Sorry, you got hit with this like gravity spear that like circumvented the armor.
Yeah,
protection. That's why he's so fucked up.
Yes.
And we were
Damn.
trying to take the spear, but it got sucked out the hole that I blasted in the ship.
Yep.
So no dice on that.
Yes. Yes.
That's what happened to him.
I would much rather see destruction and violence in my report than booty and treasure anyway. You know?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
4 mega credits
bigger-
isn't bad.
Yeah.
And yeah. I'm not sure. Zayden is just living life for the adventure. He doesn't necessarily care about. He's been stuck in the fucking grind of being poor and told what to do for a long time. So.
Yeah, he's probably used to it by now.
Yeah.
So Darren,
But the rest of you can be greedy. I don't give a shit.
you come out. Your arm is in a cast, and you've got your ribs are bandaged up. If you've ever had that done, it sucks because it is really tight. So you've got multiple broken ribs. You've got a fractured arm that's in like a gel cast. your legs kind of fucked up. Yeah, this gravity spear, they're no joke. So yeah, it basically it flicks gravity on and off, like every couple nanoseconds, and it just goes through the armor and basically shakes everything up inside. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it messed him up
Yeah.
pretty bad. So yeah, you're limping, and but the doctors, release you. You're gonna need to take some rack time, to heal that up. Meanwhile,
We'll bring in one of those fucking little things that the old motherfuckers have. It's like a walker, but it's got wheels. But
Yes.
you can turn and sit on it.
yes,
You know
yes.
what I mean?
And it's got the little stands in the back with a couple of tennis balls on the end of it.
Fuck yeah, and a
Yeah.
couple drink holders on either side.
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
When I worked at Amazon and I screwed up my knee, my grandmother had like a couple of those things, right? My grandfather calls me on the phone. He's like, "Well, do you want to come get one? Because if you're that crippled and you're not able to walk, this probably do you some good." I'm like, you know what? I'm not there yet. I would rather limp around in a leg brace than to be seen having to push one of those things around. Now that I'm 51, that doesn't, I'm more like, yeah, okay.
Man. We went to Kroger right after we were healing up from the flu, and the motorized carts. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I talked my old lady to jumping in one, man, and we were just like, side by side motorized carts, kicking it, go driving down. That was fun. I'm like, I'm gonna do that shit from here on out.
It makes life a lot easier, right?
Fuck yeah, man. And if you fucking run into somebody, you just play the dumb. You're like, oh.
You can race each other and call it the Walmart 500.
Yeah, damn right.
So was anybody else injured? I don't remember.
I don't think I was. I don't remember if happening was.
I know
I
there
got
was.
one hit. I got one hit.
Okay, well we can probably take care of that. Yeah, they stitch you up. I mean, for the med bay here, the doctor's got 2. Med kit is +3, and then the med bay is another +2. So, yeah.
What I'm more concerned about is getting my Purple Heart.
Oh yes.
I want that. I
Yes.
want that documented in my records right now.
Oh yes, you
I need to
you
make
So I
and,
can
crap
send a letter to Dad and have him get me out of this damn place.
yes, you and Darren are both put up for Purple Hearts. So the fleet, of course, begins refueling operations here at Exy, which makes me or Exis, not Exy, Exiset. Not sure if they have anything on Exiset, but I know some
I will
stuff
make
about
sure
Exiset.
I will make sure that the people that got hurt do get their fucking little ribbon or some shit like that to stick on their uniform.
Sure. Okay.
Maybe a little Hello Kitty Band-Aid shaped ribbon.
Yeah. So let's look at the big map.
That's pretty Marine like. You gotta have shit to stick on your uniform.
Of course, you got to have more shit for the fruit salad, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. So here is Exa. What does it say about Exa? Not much. It doesn't say a hell of a lot. It does say that there is a Class A starport, which, I mean, that's not unusual for the Trojan Reach. It seems like almost everything's a Class A or B starport, thanks to our corporate benefactors. Exoset. Well, I wouldn't exactly say it's a garden world. It is a low population world, less than 10,000 so far. Has yet to take off economically or otherwise. It is non-aligned. It is part of the Tobias subsector. It is.
It's probably got
No.
a GDQ fucking
Oh, yes,
base
it is.
set up.
Yes, this would be. It would have a Jadeco high port, which of course is where the refueling operations are going on. But one of the things, and this isn't even in here, it says volcanic emissions have tainted the world's atmosphere, preventing large-scale colonization, but they have created extremely fertile soil conditions. And Exocet has a mainly a exotic fungi forest all across the surface of the main world. And so that is their major export is funguses and, well, basically funguses, mushrooms, and fungi kind of stuff. And some of it, of course, is edible. Others are used for biochemicals or medical purposes. Funguses are useful in all manner of things. And so that is their only main export. The rest of it is there's not really a whole lot of reason to be here, but Jadeco built them a high port for some reason, and so that's where you guys are refueling. And that'll probably take fleet this size, probably about 7 days to complete refueling. Well, it is a Class A starport. Probably can cut that down. I would say probably closer to like 4 days of refueling. But in that 4 days, your dinner with the captain takes place. I have something for this. There it is. So the first thing that, everybody can make a recon plus social check. Or actually, better than recon plus social, go ahead and make a carouse plus social check.
Rouse plus what?
Carouse plus social.
Oh, I got an 8. Hell yeah, because I take a -2 in there.
Yeah.
I got a 4. I did terrible.
I
Yeah.
got 13.
Oh shit. Okay. And Happy got a 5. Okay, so essentially this is you guys kind of sit down to have dinner with the Admiral. The old woman is there, and in addition to Vice Admiral Krond and the old woman, in fact, the old woman basically doesn't say anything throughout the entire dinner. She'll answer a question if she's directly asked, but nobody else seems to really care what her opinion on anything is. It's obvious to you that this is all about the Vice Admiral. It's all about Krond. Zayden and Darren, you can tell that this isn't necessarily too far from what he initially told you. He told you that he was aware there were differing opinions throughout the ship of his style of command, yada yada. This is pretty much exactly that. It is him taking the temperature of the crew. And the old woman is pretty much overshadowed by Krond, and the rest of the table is made up of his cronies, including Ogilby. And Darren, you immediately notice that part of Ogilby's job seems to be tasting Krond's food and drinks as if he's testing it for poison. He tastes a little bit of every dish that is brought to the Vice Admiral. And after dinner, the dinner's fairly fairly good. I mean, it's from the ship's chefs or from the ship's stewards, and they do a particularly good job in this case. And it is imported beef and imported seafood. The seafood, you are told, was imported from Thebes. Or is that right? Not Thebes. Maybe Thebes. Hold on. I'm double checking myself. Not that it's that important, but no, not Thebes. Thalassa. The seafood is imported from Thalassa. The steaks were brought in direct from Tobiah. Probably not their first. They're flash version, so it's probably not their first. That's not where they were butchered or raised, but all of it is imported food. It's all high end. It's probably some of the best stuff that you've seen in quite some time, living aboard ship in Marine barracks. And afterwards, really expensive champagne is served, and Krond kind of there's a conversation going on around the table, and Krond says. And the topic of conversation is, what is the 198th Punitive Flotilla? What's the purpose? Why are we out here? And he says, this pirate problem is a fraud. It is a fiction. Consider the average pirate ship in the Outrim Void is a 200-ton free trader retrofitted with a few paltry lasers. And what do they prey on? Other tramps and free traders. The merchant convoys are much too hard of a target for these scamps. Why, a merchantman is more likely to fall victim to a misjump than a pirate. So why do we hear so much about the piracy in the Trojan Reach? Why does every convoy have a naval escort? And why, I ask you, is the 198th Punitive Expedition out here? I shall tell you. It suits the Navy to tolerate piracy. I am sure that Captain Lynott here would agree that most punitive expeditions are more effective as combat training exercises than pirate hunts. They sharpen their cadets as my valet sharpens my saber. But what good is a saber if you never get to stab a chap with it? Furthermore, taxes and escort fees from the merchant convoys pay for fine ships like the Eurisco, and without pirates, those fees would be much reduced. I beg you, prove me wrong. Can any of you really argue that these vagabond raiders are an actual threat to the Imperium's interests? And he kind of, his cronies that are sitting around the table go, that's exactly right, sir. It is open if you guys have something you would like to say.
Wasn't there a raid on the treasure ship here in the Trojan Reach?
Oh shit.
I heard about that.
Make an admin plus intellect check.
Admin?
Yes.
Oh crap! I'm studying admin.
That's what I was saying. I'm studying crowds. And we get this shit.
I still got a set. Sorry, I still got a 9.
Okay, so you did hear about that, and he kind of leans back and he says, "That is true." But and there was a. Now you're gonna make me look up the name of that ship. And it's on the tip of
Martin.
The Martin II, yes. There was a raid on the Martin II a few years ago. That is exactly true. I would posit that is one of the rare incidents where piracy was. I wouldn't necessarily say it was a threat to the Imperium, but it did certainly hit in the wallet, didn't it?
Interesting.
Make a
So, all right.
Darren, make a roll 2D and add your social to it.
Okay.
Okay, so I mean the look on his face, he seems like he's a bit impressed with Darren.
Darren. Yeah.
Anybody?
Do I know about the nuking of the Corvette?
Make an admin plus intellect or education check.
6.
I would say that something that would probably be routine. Yes, I would say that you would probably have heard about that.
Yeah. So
I mean,
so they,
something like nuking a Imperial Corvette, or hitting an Imperial Corvette with weapons of mass destruction, nuclear warheads, definitely be
Kind of
routine.
Yeah,
well, I'd
there'd
be like,
rumors about that.
Yeah.
that's what I'll ask about. Like, well, did the guys that nuked that Corvette get away?
And so he kind of turns to the colonel and kind of narrows his eyes, and he goes, "For now,
Well, I mean,
we are still
that was
actively searching for them."
Oh,
It
so
sounds like a few pirates are a threat. The most of them
Yeah.
aren't.
some. Yeah, I mean, if you're out here pirate hunting and everything, and you don't have a big name pirate in mind to go ahead and do it, and I mean, perhaps we ought to take a trip where there's more hookers and gambling places.
We need to go somewhere where there's
just
hookers
enjoy
and
it.
blow.
Yeah, just enjoy the trip. I mean, if we're not really going to try to do anything.
And he says to you, he says, "Now that, Colonel, is an excellent idea. And I've been thinking something along those lines, exactly that." He says, "So, my plan, of course," and I don't think I double check.
Well,
I did
how
not.
many hookers do you think you could take on, like back to back to back then? Like back in my day, I could go through 5 in a matter of hours.
I'd wear them out. So,
Well, he said it was an excellent idea, and I'll tap fucking Happy on the fucking arm.
he says, "So I actually have a plan for that. The plan is that we will be, of course, jumping all the way to Birney, where I plan to put the flotilla in orbit. And we will be using the Birney system as a base camp while I send out a number of ships. I plan to send out patrols to do pirate hunting. But and now that you've come up with this excellent idea, Colonel, I believe that you and your Marines have just volunteered." He says,
Well, my Marines can sure knock them down. None of those hollow whores. We want real, living, fucking ones. No robots. None of that shit.
He says, "My plan when we get to Birney is I'm going to give you one of the junked out pirate vessels that we capture, and I want you and your 3 Marines to head out into the area, and you are to be undercover. Whether you choose to be whether you decide that you want to be free traders or pirates yourselves, or however you want to handle this situation and what your cover story will be, that I leave up to your capable hands. But your job will be to gather intel for us. What we severely lack right now is a number of rumors, and I would like for you to come back with as much information about the pirate bands in this region as possible. Now, I will have more information on this once we do reach Birney, and I'm still in the process of formulating this plan. But thank you, Colonel, for coming up with that idea. I now have a suitable crew to be sending out on this exact type of mission."
That sounds like a wonderful thing for me and my crew to do. Well, going in a ship undercover and, finding out things. We can do that.
Oh, totally.
Marines are so good at pretending to be anything other than, a Marine.
Other than Marines, yeah.
Oh yeah, Zayden is like taking. I'm gonna go fucking go post up somewhere remote, and we're gonna fuck off for a while, and then return. That's what he's thinking.
You just make up
right.
the rumors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
that's
gonna
true.
go
We
fucking
can.
write. Yeah,
I mean, we used to run into this when I worked for Stream International. We used to you run into this. They would hire some guy, usually somebody in management, and 10 years ago he mustered out of the Marine Corps. 10 years later, you look at him and go, that motherfucker was a Marine. Just like the way he acts, the way he walks, you can always tell 99.9% of the time. There's no such thing as an ex-Marine. You are always a Marine, and that's just the way it is. So, he is, like I said, he has suitably found this potential crew for his little information gathering. There it is. Give me a zoom. So, if you guys are wanting to add to your study, 1
Mhm.
and 2. So you can add 2 weeks to your study period.
great.
And I don't know if anybody is anybody going to get a education role, or has anybody met the 8-week mark?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
I'm at
I
week
don't even know
3.
what I'm studying.
Oh,
What the
sorry.
hell am I studying? I think maybe I should study carouse. Is that something
That's
you
what I've
study?
been doing. Yeah.
I've done that on the pirate game a lot. It's just drinking alone in John's space.
She just, as captain, she's just constantly sitting there with a bottle trying to learn to carouse.
You raise your tolerance, you can handle your shit a little better.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the ship comes out at Tech World, and they refuel at Tech World. They take on some parts and equipment. You're at Tech World for 3 days, and the fleet is refueled and is getting ready to jump. Let's see here. I am going to go out on a limb here. I think it was Darren at the very beginning of the Navy characters. One of the first people that you met was the crew member. God, this camera is going wonky. There we go. One of the first people that you met. Let me find him here. Was Fixer Brell. This guy.
Oh, I remember Fixer Brown.
And if you remember, when you first met Fixer Brell, he was trying to get you to sign off on a replacing a fuel pump, and but you didn't see that there was anything particularly wrong with the fuel pump, and he was just trying to sell it on the black market. And you, if I remember correctly, you kind of shut that down. You're like, nah, or did you? Or did you allow him to? Because he was offering you a
I
cut
think
of the
I
money.
signed off on it.
I think
swear
you
I
did
signed
sign off of it. So anyway, you can add an additional 2,000 credits to your account.
Nice.
So Fixer Brawl is going to be an important part. But while you're at Tech World, I mean, Tech World isn't exactly a pirate haven. Well, it is, but you wouldn't know that. Tech World's a high-tech location. Probably not the best place to, say, um, change money. So those 4 mega credits, I don't necessarily know that. I mean, maybe Tech World would have a way of changing money because they would probably have a lot of traffic from the Aslan Herite. So if you wanted to, you could try to change money here, unless you want to wait to do that.
I was thinking we would wait, especially with the offer to go off on our own. It seems like the right place to do it.
Okay, so you're
So are we playing pirates now?
no,
No.
we're Navy. We're still Navy. So at Tech World, you're there for about 3 days, and Eurisco and the rest of the fleet is getting ready to jump. And Darren, you note as so the standard procedure is throughout the ship you hear that there's a countdown, prepare for jump, and it's counting down like the last 10 seconds before jump. You note a fuel pump, the very one that Fixer Fixer Brell was meddling with at the very beginning. Alarm lights are flashing on it right now as the countdown is happening.
Is there a way to cancel a countdown?
So you have some options here. You could do exactly that. You could abort the jump. Right now, so in this last 10 seconds, these alarms are going. The alarm lights are flashing, and it is just as hydrogen is being pumped to the jump drive to inflate the bubble. So the first option, of course, is to abort. Second, you could risk it and just let it go. And the last option, of course, is you could run over and try to repair it.
Well, I'm not an engineer, so I'm not going to repair it.
It would be a mechanic check.
Yeah, well, I don't have that either.
Okay.
We're not in a hurry, are we?
Yeah, I think I would just abort it at this point.
Okay. So you run over to this, and you down to the last 5 seconds, and you slap the abort button, the emergency abort, and it shuts down the jump sequence. The rest of the fleet jumps.
So we're by ourselves again.
We're just a little late. It's okay.
Yes, the rest of the fleet makes the jump for Birney. Meanwhile, the Eurisco is sitting here. The rest of the fleet no longer has this battleship for protection, and because you aborted, all of that hydrogen fuel is vented into space. So the Eurisco will have to refuel.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm going to have to deal with this, aren't I?
No, I got your back, man. If anybody questions or says shit to him, I'm going to be like, that's standard operating procedure. If you don't want standard operating procedure followed, it is your responsibility to give the order beforehand. Other than that, you're supposed to assume that we will follow our standard operating procedures.
Okay.
The standard operating procedure for me to say that at least 5 times in my explanation.
You can't make shortcuts like saying SOP or protocol.
Yeah, no. Yep, no.
That's right.
Yeah.
Here.
Oh, good call, and thank you. 'Cause I bet we would have died or something.
Or
Missed
jump.
Yeah, we already missed jump one.
Oh, yeah. Can point that out too. You dumb son of a bitch has already misjumped once. Fucking, we're gonna do it again.
Oh my god, these are complicated. Here it
And
is.
you know the Vice Admiral Limp Dick, he fucking said there was no real threat anyway. So the fuck.
Yeah. Who cares if you wait?
Yeah. Who cares if they die? I mean, at worst, we'll have a bad report.
So in main, you guys were in Zayden and Darren. You were in main engineering. Near this, of course, happened near the J drive on I guess this would be the port side of the ship. No, this would be starboard side of the ship. If I remember correctly. Anyways, and the chief engineer comes up and it's like chewing Darren out about, oh my god, you just canceled the jump and now all that fuel is wasted, and why did you do this? And you're not even part of the engineering crew. You were stationed down here on bad orders, and he's just reaming him out. And Zayden, backs up Darren. Zayden, Colonel Zayden, make a leadership plus intellect or make a leadership plus social check.
8.
You just made it. So the chief engineer backs down, basically pairing it off or finishing it off with how he doesn't like jarheads being down in his engineering department, despite what the admiral's orders are. And then, of course, you overhear the chief engineer. He has to call up to the bridge and explain why the ship is going to be here for a while longer to refuel, and they're going to have to repair and replace this pump, or at least inspect the pump. So you're going to be here an additional. Oh, it's only going to take a day. Not that bad of a situation, but they're basically the crew of the ship are hustling around the clock to do refueling operations, and and the admiral here. Yeah, the admiral's not happy. Under normal circumstances, the admiral would have just ordered the Eurisco to go ahead and do refueling ops, wilderness refueling, just to get things underway. But instead, is having to go back to the high port and refuel there. So not happy that you guys are going to be a day behind. But essentially, I mean, even though everybody's pissed off about it, Darren potentially saved the ship. And possibly lives.
Good job.
Yeah, and if anybody says anything about trying to point blame on any of my Marines, I am going to blame engineering for their lack of maintenance and all that. Totally pass that blame off on them. If they'd have done their job, the alarm wouldn't have went off to begin with.
That's true.
Fuck them dumb motherfucking wrenches.
Okay. Okay. So, yes, the chief engineer does put in a report. Zayden, you can make an admin plus intellect check.
Yeah.
Okay. So you put through paperwork basically trying to put the blame back on engineering. That doesn't really go over well. But a week later, you come out at Birney, meeting up with the rest of the rest of the fleet. You can add another week to your study period.
Hell yeah. I'm almost halfway there. I am halfway there. In theory.
So, immediately, they come out of a week later they come out of jump at Birney, and It is already, it's pretty obvious already to you guys that Birney is not particular. So Birney hates pirates. We're just gonna put it out there. They have no love for pirates. Birney is the one of the last bastions of the old Sindalian Empire. They were I forget what they call it, but they were basically a fleet yard for the Sindalian Empire 2,000 years ago. They have kind of since continued to do that, and the mandate of the Birney government is that they are just kind of waiting until a new emperor asserts themselves, that they know has a rightful claim to the empire, in which case then Birney will continue like nothing happened. They also don't particularly like the fact that there is an imperial fleet in orbit around their planet, because this kind of causes them to bristle a bit. So the whole situation at Birney is kind of a tense situation. They don't have anything that is as big as obviously as the Eurisco, which is sitting at 75,000 tons, and then they've got this fleet of other ships. Vice Admiral Krond doesn't give a shit. He's parking it in Birney, and he's going to stay there as long as he wants because hey, who's going to stop him? So he places Eurisco in orbit around Birney. The Petal, which is the converted luxury liner ship, is set up to house any to be a prison for any captive pirates. He sends the Gorloon out. Let's see. It is an 8,000-ton escort. He sends to fly the flag or intimidate any troublesome worlds, as well as smash any pirate bases. He sends the Gazelle escorts as his primary scouts and pirate hunters, and he deploys them in 3 squadrons of 2 ships each. The 2 tenders stay at Birney, and the 2 of the tenders stay at Birney. One of them follows Gorloon. The escort carrier, the Storm of Arrows, is sent with one of the Gazelle squadrons, and he sends one patrol corvette stays here at Birney, and the other 3 form a hunting squadron to go out and hunt pirates. And last but not least, the fast picket heads out, basically doing the rumor search and using its advanced sensors to try to scan for pirate ships. Having said that, you guys are here for 6 days before one of the pirate hunters comes back, and they have captured a ship, a far trader. Hold on here. It is. Here it is. So they kind of fix it up as best they can. It is a dirty rust bucket, but they fix it up, and they have changed they have altered the transponder. It is now named the Dirty Beast, and he calls you guys to the bridge. And he immediately, as soon as you arrive, he turns around to Colonel Zayden and he says, so you remember that conversation that we had over dinner? I have found the ship, the Dirty Beast. I would like you to go out and do your own rumor search. You and your crew are to be undercover. He says, I expect that this will be a 3-month tour of duty. I am giving you 2 mega credits of Imperial credits to use for expenses, and to purchase any supplies that that the flotilla might need while you are out. He says, particularly, we are in need of polymers, advanced machine parts, advanced weapons, vehicles, and luxury consumables. And he says, I expect you to return with a cargo hold full of such goods.
All right. Thank you.
Each world you visit, I expect you to gather as many rumors and intelligence about piracy as you possibly can. You could hang around starport bars, talk amongst the dock workers at the ports, anything that you can do to pick up information. Says, now I do have.
We'll do you proud.
Excellent. I suspect that you will. Now, I do have a potential starting point. That starting point being that we have picked up some information from our fast picket that about 2 months ago the high port in the system of Marduk, or I'm sorry, the down port on Marduk was hit by raiders, and the assistant to the port administrator was kidnapped, and the port administrator has filed petitions with numerous governments, including the Imperium, in an attempt to get their assistant back. I suggest possibly starting at Marduk and or working your way to Marduk and trying to pick up information on who exactly these raiders are.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a plan.
All right, so let's see. Hold on 1 second. Evidently, I missed something. Either I missed something or one of my things got deleted.
Do we have jump 2 in this freighter?
You will in a Far Trader, yes. Yeah, here it is. Right here. Okay. Oh, no, here it is. So this is the stats for the Dirty Beast.
Oh, yeah.
Now, it says the only thing missing off this is it does have 2 double turrets. One has a missile rack and a sandcaster, and the other turret has twin pulse lasers.
We have thrust 1.
Yeah,
Well-
first one, yes. Yes, it is a Dirty Beast.
Sounds great.
So that is, of course, that. And
So, do we have the skills to to do this?
well, I mean, you got.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Do
Glenn's
we
a good
have?
pilot.
Okay, and
I've got pilot, jump, power,
all right. Do we have an
astrogation. I
astrogation?
have astrogation too.
Yeah,
Okay.
It sounds like you're doing everything now. Because
Do we have anybody that can do sensors?
I can. I got sensors and electronics.
He's got all of it. Yeah, your
And
pilot's
also
gonna be.
I got naval tactics at 0.
I got electronic 0, so I could probably do sensors.
Yeah. What
I'm
about
trying to
it-
learn J drive.
what about you, Darren?
Yeah.
So I have electronics at 0, so I could do comm or something like
All
that.
right. Well, there you go. I guess I can work the gun.
Okay.
I got
I've
pilot.
got
So,
All right. Well then, I guess we have to have Jace pilot because Happy's got all those engineering skills, and then we'll in astrogation, and then we'll use Darren as comms and sensors.
Sensors and comms.
Yeah, and I will I will do what I do.
You do what you do.
With
Yes.
my good.
So these are
Yeah.
the deck plans for the Dirty Beast. You can take whatever crew quarters you decide you want. I mean, there's 3 down here on deck 1, and then there's several more up on deck 2. It's got a fairly decent cargo hold. I mean, it's a standard far trader. You know, 65 and a half tons of cargo space.
3 crew rooms, is that what that is?
Yes. I mean, if they're probably double occupancy, so
sure.
I mean,
yeah. I don't particularly care if I have a roommate or not. So,
all right.
I guess I really don't. But then this will be the one I stay in.
Okay.
With us being 4, I'm not going to sign all that shit.
Right. I mean,
find a fucking rack.
Yes, wherever you guys fall asleep, that's where your rack is.
Yeah.
So you have jump 2 available. Oops.
Mm-hmm. I have no intention to go all the way to Marduk. I want to fucking figure out a place where we can create rumors and fuck off for a while and return.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck about the fucking mission or any of that. Fuck this dumb shit. That is that. So,
sir, yes, sir.
yeah.
Following you to the ends of the earth.
That's right.
That's like we've got this. We need to find a place to fucking transfer this fucking 4 million credits you guys came up with, and we need to waste some fucking of these credits here that he gave us on. It is my philosophy that if you fuck a mission up, you won't get that kind of mission again. And so,
you know what we could do is we could go to an Aslan territory, use our Aslan credits, get a bunch of goods, and trade them somewhere else.
Well, hell yeah, then. What is that?
Wow.
Tokok? Tyokh? Whatever. Sounds like a great place. Set course for there.
All right.
Oh my god. Things are happening.
So you're jumping to Tyok is where you want to go?
Yeah. He's got all these Aslan credits. Sounds like a great place to go to me.
But he outranks me, so we're gonna go.
So you've got
any place but Murdoch. All right.
You have 2 options. You can travel via. You make a jump 1 to Sync, refuel, and then jump straight to Tyok, or you can jump to the world, refuel, and make a jump 1 to Tyok. How do you want to go about this?
Sync sounds like it's got better fucking refueling capabilities than the world, right? But I know Cameron loves the world, and
yeah, but Jace, it's fine. Yeah, Jace doesn't give shit, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't know anything about this place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess Sync looks like it's got water world and shit. We can go there, and then from there we can go to our Aslan destination.
Okay.
Full of tropical drinks and good times.
You wish. So
yeah, this might go horribly awry.
So who's making the astrogation check?
That's Happy.
Yeah, Happy's in charge of a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Where am I? Who am I?
You are the astrogator right now.
Is it
It would be
education and astrogation?
Yeah, it would be astrogation plus your choice, either education or intellect. Okay.
That ain't bad though. This is easy shit, right?
Yeah, I mean it's a routine check. So, who wants to make the? Well, first of all, well that doesn't matter. Who wants to make the electronics power plus intellect or education?
I think that's happy as well.
Okay. And of course, all of this is not happening at the same time.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh no.
Whoa.
Okay.
Don't worry, we'll fix it.
So
Yeah.
the reason for the power check is that the power plant only puts out 75 power, and there's not enough power to basically run basic ship systems, maneuver drive, and jump drive all at the same time. And so you have to do jump dimming. You transfer power, electric. Who wants to make electronics? Or I'm sorry, not electronics. Engineering J drive plus intellect or education -2.
That's still happy.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
All right,
We're all
bro.
just sitting out going, man, this is taking a fucking while.
A 6. Okay.
Hmm.
So you are able to. Oh wait, that's 6 unmodified. That is a 4. Okay. So
No, it's -2. I was +2, and then I took them off.
oh, okay. Okay.
Oh,
So
you
6
know,
you
okay.
succeed, and you guys can add another week to your
Sweet, I'm an
allotment.
8. What'd you learn?
I'm learning admin, so I guess I do a roll.
Yes, do an admin plus education check.
Oh, hell yeah. Look at us getting better.
Oh, I got 8.
There you go. Your admin goes up by 1.
Well, I'm halfway to being able to drink.
I can
I'll
drink.
have
I'll be able to
Jake
drink
add
like a
that.
real Marine just as soon as I finish studying this bottle of booze.
A 0 at carouse is not a Marine.
Right, yes. Stop chewing those blue crayons and drink like a Marine. So, let's see. So, Sync, there is only one. Your other characters have been here. There is only one settlement on Sync, and it is a small monastery. There is a rather sizable Aslan colony on Sync. Well, I wouldn't say sizable. There is an Aslan colony on Sync of Ihati that have taken over. But the monastery was established by a rare religious sect from Earth, and they spend most of their time praying and worshiping as they sink things into the deep swampy lakes that surround their small monastery fortress. That's what these guys do. Not really a whole lot here, but it what does it say? Yeah, it only has a Class D starport. One of the few in the Trojan Reach that it's basically got a flat area for you to land on. Probably it's going to be unrefined fuel. So your choice is you can either land on Sync or you can do wilderness refueling.
I think we ought to land on Sync and then go contact the Ihati here and see if they have any contacts that maybe we could sponge off of at the planet we're headed to that starts with a
And maybe we
T.
can make friends with them here.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's piloting? Is that Jace?
Jace is our pilot,
Right.
and our sensors and comms is in the capable hands of Darren.
Okay, so Jace, go ahead and make a piloting Starcraft plus Dex check.
Okay, let me see that. I got 11.
Okay, so Jace is able to put you guys down. You come in. into sync. Just out of curiosity, this out of the way, and I am curious. Let's see what this world looks like. So we know it's got a D starport size. So it's about 9,600 kilometers in diameter with a about a 0.7 G's gravity. So I'll put a little bounce in your step. Atmosphere is standard Earth, between 0.71 and 1.49 for pressure. Shirt sleeves environment, you don't need to use a vac suit or a filter or anything like that. Five for hydrographics. 46 to 55% water. It does have large oceans. 2202. Population in about 200 people. So this would be a small Ihati settlement mixed with this Soleimani monastery. And government is a participating democracy. How odd. Ruling functions are reached by the advice and consent of the citizenry directly. And then it says it has
200 people, yeah. That sounds right. Yeah.
Law level is 0. There are no restrictions on any weaponry that you want to carry. And it has a total tech level of 5. So it ain't, fantastic. But Jace is able to put the dirty beast down on what passes as a landing site. It's basically a small amount of firm ground. Everything around you is just nothing but swampy marsh, and for the Ihati, I guess town enclave, village. They have basically made huts and whatnot. Some of it is like prefab stuff, obviously Aslan Herate technology. Some of the flowing curving buildings, but they're prefabs. Others are made from the wood that they've scavenged from the swampland and just built these huts. And going from this little dry rise where they allow for ships to land, there are essentially metal grates and wood planks that are put down in the swampy mud so that you don't completely sink into the marsh. That's essentially what is here. So my first question is, how are you guys equipped? What kind of armor are you wearing? Armor? What are you wearing?
I mean, I think we ought to at least be wearing combat armor. That's
not gonna keep you guys under. That's not gonna be very good for being undercover.
Undercover. Yeah.
Here is standard armors that you could have been equipped with before leaving.
How about advanced polycarapace armors?
Probably not advanced, but regular polycarapace, yeah.
All right, that's what I'll be wearing.
Now, keep in mind, polycarapace is still going to denote you as somebody who's probably more than willing to draw a gun. What about Happy? What are you wearing?
I have lightweight polycarb.
Okay. Jace?
I like the idea of post-apocalyptic. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, the post-apocalyptic would be like, a few pieces of football armor or football pads mixed with, like, a chunk of tire.
That sounds fucking cool. I'm gonna wear that.
Okay, you can wear post-apocalyptic armor. Basically, some chain and some duct tape in the workshop, and You can piece it together.
Sure.
What about Darren?
Darren's going to wear a cloth trench coat. 'Cause
Okay.
why not?
All right. So you guys would look suitably helter skelter. Now the Polycarpus and the lightweight Polycarpus, I would think Happy's probably looks a little bit too shiny, but the Polycarpus that Zayden is wearing looks like it's got a couple of dents in it. It's the original, whatever the original paint scheme is scratched up in a number of spots. And it's mismatched. There's like multiple colors throughout it. It's all mismatched. And you guys step off of this ship. Even the dry ground. When you look back at the ship, the landing skids are like sunk a bit into the marsh. Like this is considered dry high ground. What are you guys looking for? What are you doing specifically?
I'm thinking we're wanting to go talk to, the mayor, the chief. Do they have like a greeting hut or anything?
Everybody can make a recon plus intellect check.
I got an 8.
Okay.
I got 10.
Nice.
11.
Nice. What about Happy?
Carouse? Are we doing a carouse?
Recon plus intellect.
Oh.
Okay. So looking around, Zayden, Jace, and Darren, as you guys kind of step off of this ratty ship that you've been given, you see a lot. Most of the people that you see are Aslan. Pretty much basically going about their daily lives. Being a Class D starport, there wasn't. Let's see. I don't think there's much more than a landing beacon, if I remember correctly. Starport. D. Yeah. Unrefined fuel, limited repairs. Ain't no high port.
Is there a starport? Is there a space city?
Not really. There is no scout base. There is no pirate base. But you are greeted. An Aslan female comes up, and she says, "Oh, we don't get very many visitors. Docking fees will run 60 credits."
Okay. I'm going to take it out of that 2 million.
That's what it's there for. She does tell you, of course, she says, just keep in mind we only have unrefined fuel, so you'll need to process anything. So I hope your fuel processors are up to snuff.
I hope so too.
Here.
We're already in agreement. This is wonderful.
There we go.
Happy will be happy to make sure all that shit works properly while the rest of us roam around and drink your alcohol.
Don't go eat blue crayon.
So let's see here. So you need 20 tons of unrefined fuel. That will run you 2,000 credits.
Wonderful.
And they you see that another couple of females are behind you, or behind her, immediately coming over with a hose, hooking it up to your intake, and so you pair. The other thing that you know, like I said, you're talking to her. You looking around the village, you see mostly Aslan. Looks like they're living a pretty okay, happy life. As Aslan do. Aside from the fact that they live in a fucking swamp, you know. But they have a small village kind of set up here, and like in the distance, up on another small rise, you see this almost fortress-like monastery, and throughout the village, you do see that there are a couple of humans walking around. Most of them are wearing monastic type brown plain robes that are simply closed with a chunk of rope, shaved heads, and then you see like 4 or 5 of them standing around in the swamp, and they drop like a computer into the swamp and then sit there praying and chanting as it sinks into the marsh.
Man, I do not want to fuck around with fucking religious fanatic motherfuckers. Y'all can go rub elbows with them if you want to.
So it's easy. If any of them give you any shit, then you say, "Hey, I wonder if that guy sinks or floats."
Yeah.
A religion about sinking stuff into a swamp? That's a religion I can get behind.
Sounds pretty fun.
So, and so as she takes your credits, and she kind of puts them into a bag that, or a satchel that she's wearing across her chest. She says, what brings you to Sink?
Money.
Well, we stopped here to refuel and perhaps find out if you have any information or contacts. We're interested in going to, and again, I'm not even going to try to say the name, this tea planet.
Tyok.
Yeah, we're headed to Tyok. We want to make some contacts for trade.
She says,
hoping maybe you could turn us on to somebody. If you have anything interested for sale, perhaps might buy that. I don't know. My crewmates here could use a good drink and a nice soft bed to sleep in, maybe before we head out. Yes.
She says, well, we don't have much in the way of amenities, but I'm sure that we could probably put you up. She says, I would say a room for the night, and she kind of looks you guys over. She says, 50 credits a night. Per person.
For all of us?
Per person.
Per person, so that's 200 credits?
Yep.
For a night? I've got that out of my 2 million credits. Like, I've already told everybody I don't give a fuck if I make a dime with this dude's money. He gave me 2 million credits. We're headed out for 3 months. As long as we're able to make it back, we're fine. That's really the only goal, is to survive here.
So she kind of leads you across these mix of wooden planks and metal screens across the marshy part into their little village. And as you guys are walking the village, almost every Aslan is turned, and you feel like there's 200 eyes watching you, 400 eyes rather, watching you as you move through this village. You get the distinct impression, what it feels like to be prey. The humans don't seem to really pay much attention to you. These monks just move about town. You note that they are almost always looking down at the ground, like they never want to make eye contact with any of the Aslan, especially the males. And she kind of leads you into this more or less, what do they call those? Not a yurt, but it's kind of like it is a wooden shelter with large dried leaves for a roof, like a thatch roof. But there's no walls. It's open, and it's kind of an open bar, saloon, mead hall kind of thing. And you see that there are a number of Aslan males sitting around drinking. All of the males are armed, most with auto rifles. Um, Several of them have axes or some kind of bladed weapon. And she leads you up to the bar, and she says, these fine travelers have come to seeking contacts for trade in Tyok, and she tells the bartender that she says, oh, well, they've decided to pay me a bit. They're going to stay the night, and I'm going to put them up in my little side house. She says, so go ahead and give them whatever they want. We'll put it on my tab. And the bartender comes over and he's like, what do you want to drink?
I'll take a beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So they've got like this really strong Aslan ale. It tastes very earthy. It's not particularly a good beer. And
I'll drink it.
and for food, they don't have a menu. They serve you whatever they're cooking, right? And
Fucking cook that fucking meat and throw it on a plate and slap it down.
and so you say that, and you hear a number of laughs around the bar from the Aslan male. Well, you're gonna be disappointed, humans. And the bartender just throws down what looks to be a raw slab of meat on a plate. You're not even sure what kind of meat it is, so if you like your steak rare, this is practically raw.
It'll be all right. Fuck it.
We're Marine. We'll eat. You're a Marine. You'll eat mud.
I'm a Marine, and I'll be like, I'm not as disappointed as your daddy was when it took you fucking 3 times to knock out your sister.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna start a fight.
A fight in that Aslan bar.
We're gonna get beat up.
The bartender sets down a number of there's shakers of a greenish brown spice, and you all note that of the other patrons, who are all Aslan, you see them take this and they're putting it out on their food. They're sprinkling it on their food. You see one of them take the top off of the jar, and he dips his finger in and snorts it.
And snorts it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun.
I'll just ask what it is.
Yeah.
So the guy says, "Oh, this is dust spice."
Oh, is it good?
So Aslan have a huge love for dust spice. It would be akin like a cat likes fucking catnip kind of thing. They love dust spice. They put it on everything, or sometimes in some cases snort it or eat it raw. They absolutely love this stuff. It has very mild euphoric properties to it, and they prefer fresh dust spice. Now there is a market for synthetic dust spice, which is of much lower quality than the real stuff. At least that's what the Aslan will tell you. I don't know that a human would be able to tell much difference, but the Aslan male that Zayden mentioned that his daddy knocked out his sister. He comes over and he sets his beer down on the bar and he looks at Zayden and he says, "My sister's pretty tough."
Well, I mean, you would know better than me because I've never eaten her.
Oh, shit. What skill is shit? Make a carouse plus social check.
All right. Three. I've been training in corrals. That's all I can say.
Oh,
Shit.
fuck.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't even have a map for this, but
Uh, well, I mean, if it's a fucking Aslan place, there's got to be a ring. And I go, how about first blood? And I'll fucking, you know, grab a dagger, head to the ring.
Who's in charge if he dies?
It goes by fucking. We got a captain.
I'm captain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. You. Whew. Okay.
Look, if nobody's if I don't ever fucking take my random fucking acts of violence and get into the bullshit, then it looks bad when I make y'all do it. So, you know,
I
I'm
mean, is it weird that makes sense?
Walking the walk.
Yeah. So, I mean, the big bad motherfucker, I insulted him like, I gotta envision that they respect that in the end, and then put a little fucking first blood kicking on him, and see how that works out.
And if it doesn't,
If
you
it
don't.
doesn't, then fucking I hope he honors the first blood, and I take some time healing up. I hope somebody's got some medic skills. That's how that works.
I do. I think.
Yeah.
I got super glue stuff back together
Yeah.
from me. That's it.
I mean, I've got blade skills, so it's not like I'm a bitch. So,
Fuck him up.
but I will periodically try to get us into different challenges of violent game tests, and
We should
we'll
have
see.
started off beating up some nerds on Tech World.
Fuck yeah! See, but we did it.
Yeah.
Beating up nerds on Tech World.
A good starter course for random violence, I think.
Yeah. Like, I'll need like how much damage a fucking dagger does. I'm lucky if I get a D6.
All right. Darren, Happy, and Jace, go ahead and roll your initiatives first. So Happy got 9. All right. Now, Zayden, go ahead and roll your initiative.
Fuck.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna go under this dude. Can I use some tactics?
Not yet. I'll tell you why here in a second. So, this male wheels off and he punches Zayden. D plus 2. So he cracks Zayden, and Zayden goes off his bar stool and kind of catches Zayden by surprise in a quick punch. And Zayden goes off his bar stool, splayed out on the floor. Zayden, you take 3 points, or I'm sorry, 5 points from this Aslan's punch. What is Happy doing? Oh, there he is. What is Happy doing?
Happy is watching the fight.
Okay. I didn't insult anybody's mother.
I got to keep my arms and hands handy.
Okay. What is Darren doing?
I'm gonna say I apologize for my friend Zayden here. We didn't intend to start any sort of fight here. We're just here to enjoy a nice peaceful day.
You can make your choice either a persuade plus social check, or you can make a diplomacy plus social. What'd you
Look
get?
what I got.
I got 6.
ice cream.
He seems unmoved. Jace, what would you like
Yeah.
to do?
I'm gonna look at Zayden's head and see if it's like really fucked up or if he's
Well, luckily he punched him with a closed fist and not a dew claw. I don't know. So with 5 points, how's Zayden feeling?
It doesn't go through my armor.
I believe unarmed combat bypasses armor. It says attacks, right? It doesn't say.
I guess I want to try and like give some first aid or something. I guess. Yeah, I got medic at 0.
Oh, it is. Yep. Damage ignores armor. So yeah.
All right. Then I've got 6 endurance left if my armor didn't do anything.
So he's got a bloody nose, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it might actually be broken and flattened, but he's okay.
Is that first blood?
It is actually. It is actually.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try and help Zayden.
Okay. You can make a medic plus intellect or education check.
9.
Okay, so Zayden, you get one endurance back.
So
Okay.
I'm like holding pressure on whatever on your head is busted open. I don't think there's going to be too much more fighting going on. He's pretty much won.
Yeah, the Aslan male says you'll be wise to keep your insults to yourself while in an Aslan camp. And he turns around and grabs his beard, turns around and stalks off back to his table.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet his sister hits harder.
That was probably muffled since Jace is putting
Yeah.
pressure on the wound,
Yeah.
basically
Well,
smothering your
whatever.
face.
Yeah.
Harold,
Yeah.
I gotta stop
He
this
was.
nose from bleeding.
Yeah.
Gotta keep pressure on it.
He was afraid. Yeah. He was afraid to go in the ring with me. I just want to point that out. I'm trying to save faster drink.
So the bartender's kind of laughing. You get Zayden back up on the bar stool, and he's got a rag, and the bartender reaches down behind the bar and pulls out a bar rag and gives it to you to help you, sop up whatever blood is left. And he's just, the bartender's kind of laughing. He says,
I'll just wave it off
Yeah.
and bleed right there on the bar and continue to eat fucking raw meat and take fucking shots.
So the bartender sees this, and he reaches down behind the bar and pulls out a bottle of a dark liquor, and he pours a couple of shots for each of you. And he says, "I have to admit, it's been a while since I've seen a human that was willing to talk shit to one of us Aslan." And he says, "This is actually a good time." And he says, "So what brings you to Sync? I hear you were here for trading or looking to make trade contacts."
We're gonna go do some trading out in Kayak.
Interesting. Says, I just so happen to have some contacts on Tyak. What kind of things are you looking to purchase?
I'll pull out the list that we had of all the shit we were supposed to try
So let's
Yeah.
see. It was.
and get. It was advanced weapons. That's the only thing I remember.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, one very good. Was the other one.
I just had it.
Yeah, it's
Here it is.
always the last place you
Here
look.
it is. Polymers, advanced machine parts, advanced weapons, vehicles, and luxury consumables.
Those are the things we were looking for.
None of them probably match up very well with where we're going, but we don't give a fuck.
So he says, I do have my contacts. I do know somebody in Tyak that deals in polymers and advanced machine parts. He says, but really, if you're, and he kind of looks around and he says, if you're looking for advanced weapons, vehicles, and luxury consumables, I really would highly recommend going to ASIS. And ASIS, from where you are at, is all the way over here.
All right. Well, thanks for the tip.
That's a long fucking way away.
Yeah, you'd be looking at, well, from Tyak, let's see here. You probably don't want to stay in Aslan space. That would be a bad idea.
Yeah, seriously.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, but we're
Okay.
just trying to convert fucking Aslan money with Imperial money. That's our number one thing, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so maybe do you happen to know anybody that deals in large currency exchanges?
Well, that could be done at Tyak, yes.
Excellent. Yeah, it'll be worth the trip no matter what, then.
Yeah.
Zayden, roll a diplomacy plus social check.
Hey, you're killing me.
You can make a persuade plus social.
An 8.
Okay. So he tells you he does know of a money changing. He says a money changer at Tyak. He says, but it's not exactly legal.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
you know, my tribe saying is if the cop didn't see it, it didn't happen.
He says, "Oh, well, then you'll probably get along with these individuals, but keep in mind, being humans, you're going to stick out in Tyak. So, my recommendation would be to do as little as possible to draw attention to yourself." And he calls over for a female Aslan that's sitting in the back, and he says, "Set them up with the information to meet the money changer." And her eyes kind of get big, and then she goes over and she grabs a hand computer and she types some information out, and she says, "Do you have a hand computer? I'll just transfer the information to you."
I'm sure somebody does.
Probably. I mean, you probably got transponders and mobile comms and things like that. So she transfers this data over to you, and it gives a name and an address, and that's it. And it's only a single name. Um, I'll have to come up with a name because it's Aslan. But it's an address, and she says, when you go here, make sure that you're not seen and not followed.
Right.
Well, we'll do a great job of that.
Right.
And she kind of bares her teeth a bit. She goes, "Hopefully better than you did here."
Well, we were trying to meet people, and I tried to do it in an Aslan way, and I mean, you can't say it didn't work.
That is true. So we will break here and pick up next week with your pirate travelers, picking up what they're up to over here in Drinax. Next week at 6:00 on Wednesday night.
Sounds fun.
All right.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Have a good night, guys.
Good night.